Lori Michelle here today to share a vision and a message from Hashem. Rabbis and scientists, you must unite and not fight. So now I'll share the vision, which was 2 mornings ago. It's extensive, it's deep. I probably could talk about it for hours. I'm going to try very hard to make this concise and get to the message, the point of the vision. There are many, he just said, but I'll try to make it concise. In the vision, I was standing on a floor and I looked down and there was a square opening in the floor, and I realized that the opening in the floor was an entryway to get up where I was, which was up on a roof. And there's a song that Hashem has used for me to comfort me, saying that when I'm troubled, go up on the roof, the Carole King song, and he comforts me and says that's where he is, to get away from all of the trouble down below, come up on the roof where Hashem is. So I'm up on the roof and I'm waiting for the message that he wants to give me, and he showed me white boulders that looked like they weighed tons, maybe 10-ton bricks, each of them. And there were men dressed normally, secularly, average men, lifting these heavy bricks. And then he focused on one man taking one of these 10-ton white bricks and passing it to a man who was not on the roof. He was off of the roof, and he took the heavy brick and put it on his head. And then I looked below him, and there was another man below him holding him on his shoulders, embracing him. And we were several stories high. So I looked down, and it was another man and another man and another man forming a human ladder. And each man was bracing the next man on his shoulders, and they were going straight up to the top of the roof. And the top man on the ladder was taking these white, heavy bricks, tons they weighed. And I looked in amazement and I said, it's amazing that they're not falling. They're really bracing themselves with all their might and all their strength. And they're not falling. It's amazing. I said, is this like that song, Lean on Me, when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. I don't know if that's the words, but you know the song. It's an old song, beautiful song. And he said, yes, it's like that, but keep watching. So then he panned away from these men who were a human ladder, amazing. And there were several rabbis in black, the men in black, religious Jewish rabbis. And they were also standing on each other, but they were different. They were leaning on each other also. So they were forming this human wall, not a ladder, a wall. And when I looked up, it went quite high. They had nothing above them. No one was handing them white 10-ton bricks. And that was the vision. And then we had deep conversation. And I asked him, is the white heavy brick a metaphor for coronavirus? And he said, yes. I said, are you also telling me that they were separate? The rabbis were over there. The secular men were a metaphor for scientists and doctors, atheists, or people who don't really believe in the Torah and God and spirituality. They believe in the test tube and the microscope, and that they will find the vaccine and cure this disease. Yes, again. And I said, the rabbis who were forming this human wall and not a ladder, who didn't have the physical virus up in their hands, was building this huge wall, connoted the kotel, the retaining wall to what was the second temple. And God willing, if there's redemption, he just said, don't say if, when there's redemption, there will be the third holy temple on Temple Mount. He said, yes. So we talked more, and then I watched the news, and I'm watching how the Haredi men in black and the community, the religious community, is being attacked in Israel. They are infected with coronavirus in a bigger way than the secular Jewish people are here. And there's a lot of fighting and accusations. And it's going, I don't know if it's going both ways. I haven't read what the Haredi people are saying. He just said similar, but they're suffering. But I will summarize by saying the atheist scientists and doctors believe that they're in charge, that all they have to do is be strong, embrace themselves, and they can carry this brick on their heads. And they're going to find that vaccine, and the vaccine's not going to come through prayer. It's going to come from research and from their genius. And that is false. That is false. And the Haredi rabbis believe that they're impervious, that all they need is prayers and Hashem and Torah and study, and all will be well. That is equally false. So how are they both wrong, and how are they both right? The rabbis believe that Torah study and praying to Hashem is the most important thing that they can do with their lives. That's correct. And the scientists and the doctors believe that they will achieve a vaccine and discover it in the lab through hard work and research. And that is correct. But what both sides are missing, and where the rabbis are wrong and the scientists are wrong, is that science and that vaccine comes from Hashem. Nothing comes into this world without his say-so. And the white 10-ton bricks, coronavirus, came from him. And you can't pray your way out of this. What you must do is understand that prayer is at the heart and soul of who we are. We need to connect to him. But through prayer, he gives us answers, and we bring him and his wisdom into the physical world. What the rabbis are not recognizing is that the atheist scientists, if they're atheists, maybe they believe in God, are with Hashem also. He's everywhere. He's with everyone. And he gives us the answers when we need them, or thwarts us when he doesn't want us to have that answer. If Hashem does not want a vaccine for coronavirus, the scientists will never find it, and the rabbis cannot pray hard enough for that vaccine to come into being. It's through our love and our actions and our appreciation of him and doing what he desires that he blesses us. And a blessing may be in the form of coronavirus. He said it is. Coronavirus is a hideous nightmare, a hideous disease. It's killing people all over the world. But it's a huge, monumental disaster and blessing, both at the same time. It's in this crisis that we need to remember him, and the rabbis need to teach Torah to the scientists, and the scientists need to reach to the rabbis and pray for the rabbis and help the rabbis understand that this disease is dangerous and they must quarantine and have safe social distancing and stay out of the synagogues for a while and use technology to connect and daven together through Zoom. We need to come together, and the wisdom of the rabbis and the wisdom of the scientists must unite into one family under one God, because he's involved with it all. I don't know if I did it for you, but it's truth. And the scientists and the atheists and the secular people and even the rabbis don't understand how he operates. So I'll finish this message with a small example. I hear him. You may not hear him. Most of you do not hear him. Sometimes you do in a dream, or sometimes you hear words, but you don't hear his voice the way I do. And I could be walking down the street and he will say something to me like, stop, don't move, do not move. And I'll hear him, I'll say, okay, Hashem, I'm not gonna move. And just in that moment, a car speeds by and would have killed me if I would have kept walking. For you, whoever you are, it's an inclination and an impulse and something stopping you and you're frozen. That something is Hashem. I'll give you one more example of how he operates that you don't understand, that he's involved and he's with you. I had an appointment one morning several years ago, a business meeting, and it was an important meeting, and it was past my awakening. I was already speaking to Hashem fluently. And I had to print out a proposal for this important business meeting. And I had just enough time to print out the proposal and get to my appointment on time. So I went to print it out, and it had to do with something that I needed off of the internet. And I went to print, and it wouldn't print. And so the way I am, I got upset. Oh no, I need this to print. I can't believe it. I need this proposal. I'm going to be late for my appointment. And Hashem said, Lori, calm down. He said, reboot your computer. So I rebooted. It still didn't work. Oh, Hashem, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. I've got to get going. Calm down, Lori. Close out of Internet Explorer. Open Firefox. It will print. Calm down. I did it. It printed. Thank you, Hashem. I'm so grateful. And I went to my appointment. What does that look like in a science lab? I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like a scientist working on a vaccine for coronavirus. And he's working and he's working and he's working. And suddenly he gets a thought, his own voice, and it says, remember what they taught you, remember what I learned in 10th grade chemistry? There was something I learned, and I think it's something that would be beneficial to use now. I'm making it up. I'm not a scientist. But a thought came to the scientist in that moment to recall something from high school or college. And he acted on that thought that he thought was his own. And voila, it worked. And now he has a vaccine that he can test in humans by June 1st, I heard, in Israel. And what does the scientist say that has no Torah education, does not believe in God, is a complete atheist? I'm so smart. I can't believe I just thought of that. Wow. I'm so wow. So he discovers the vaccine. Maybe a year later, he wins some sort of Nobel Peace Prize. I don't know. I'm making it up. Oh, you're so smart. But I'm here to tell you on this not so short video, it's all him. It's all him. It's not 100%. He's correcting me. He co-creates with us. I wrote my proposal. He helped me print it. I wrote my proposal. Maybe he put a few sentences in there that would close the deal. Helps me. I don't work independently of him. I work with him. But I'm acutely aware because I hear him. I hear his voice. I feel him. I wake up to him. I go to sleep with him. I know in every moment he's involved and he's helping me. And you might know once in a while. You might believe all the time. You might feel, sure, God is real. I feel him. I love him. I believe in him. But you only know occasionally. Knowing is very difficult for you. It's the way I am. I live in knowing. And that's what I want to share so desperately with all of you. That dream vision sequence, I was wide awake, was a message to you. The scientists and the rabbis have important knowledge that needs to unite now in the end of days. This is hypercritical. The Torah's the truth. Hashem is real. He's involved in everything and everywhere. And he's calling the shots and he's calling in all the marbles right now. It's hypercritical that you stop fighting and realize we're all on the same team. We're all from the same source. We're all family. One last thing before I end this not so short video. When China was struggling with coronavirus and it wasn't all over the world yet, the rabbis were at the kotel davening and praying, please Hashem, bring us a cure for coronavirus. And there were Chinese people thanking those rabbis. Where are the people praying for the Haredi people right now? I'm praying. Are you? Wake up. We're family. We're not going to do this separately. We need to build a wall of love, unconditional love for each other, and reach for Hashem together. He loves us all. Please listen. He's telling me to ask you to buy my book, learn more. We need to come together, the rabbis, the scientists, everyone. It's time. God bless you. I hope you listen this far, and I hope you listen, and we can come together soon and bring world peace and build that temple. God bless you.